Hi, John here. Welcome back to Kingdom Warrior Fitness. It is week 3. I hope you guys are feeling great. Hopefully by now you're starting to get some benefits of regularly exercising if you've been dormant recently before you started this. Hopefully you're not getting a sore in between each days, and that you're just starting to, at least if you're not seeing results, feeling better about yourself and feeling like you're getting some benefits. Maybe you're getting a little bit more tone. Maybe you're getting, muscles are starting to feel more firm. Maybe you're starting to see some of your body weight shift. Now that's one thing I like to touch on before we get into this. Don't always judge your results by what you're seeing on a scale. You might actually be losing a lot of fat and gain weight, especially if you have a lot of fat to lose. I know I started getting back in exercise just a couple months ago, and when I was tracking every week. I weigh myself a couple times each week, usually on Mondays, and then I would do it on a Thursday or so. I would see myself lose weight immediately, and then if I was keeping up with it, I would actually see my weight go up, and that is because you might be building muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat, but I saw my waistline go down. I'm continuing to see my waistline go down, except for this week. I was out of town visiting family, and I really didn't eat all the greatest. I can touch base on that. A little bit of with fitness, you should be maintaining a proper diet. No, I'm not the best at teaching this, but I can give you guys a few tips. If you absolutely aren't following any kind of a healthy diet, just make a few little changes. You'll see a big difference. For instance, drop pop or soda out of your diet and switch to something like unsweetened iced tea. Drink just regular water. There's some of those 0 calorie, like my wife loves those, I don't know if they're 0 calorie, if they're really low calorie, water with carbonated water with a strawberry or lemon juice mixed in with it. Stuff like that. Just start making a little bit healthier decisions. I switch out stuff like white bread and white rice for brown rice or whole grain bread, wheat bread. Same thing with, we switched out our pasta. We went to a whole grain penne pasta when we do pasta meals. You can cut out the easy things to do is cut out fast food. If you do have to go to eat out at a fast food, if you're just on the road all the time or if you're traveling, just try and get healthier options on the menu. Go for stuff that are grilled as opposed to stuff that are deep fat fried. Little things like that, they're no-brainers. Cut out those sweets. I have a big sweet tooth. I love sweets. I love brownies, cookies, cake, all that stuff. I eat it all the time. When I don't work out, I really let my diet go because I figure, I'm not in the mode. For whatever reason, when I exercise, I feel like that's when I can maintain my diet. It's because I don't want to put on the work of exercising and then just lose it all by eating unhealthy. I still reward myself at the end of the week. If I did all my exercises, I'll eat I'll give myself a brownie or something like that. Or at the end of the day, I'm really weird about this. If I log all my food, I'll get into that. You should get some app that logs your food. If I log all my food, if I hit all my exercise for the day, my 2 walks, what I do is I give myself 2 milk duds at the end of the day. It's not much, but it's a little something to look forward to. Little things like that, you can still treat yourself and not completely go off the rails. I digress. Anyway, I did touch base on logging your food. I log food on something that's what is it, MyFitnessPal, I think. Just shows you an overview. What are you intaking for food? And then you get yourself some kind of a tracker. Here I have the Apple Watch. I don't really like the Apple Watch. I use it because it controls the camera. Usually it goes out every now and then. I like the Fitbit better. It just tracks. I think it has a better app, and it integrates easier into MyFitnessPal. They're both fairly accurate. They're not 100%, but it gives you a ballpark of what you're expending for energy and what you're intaking. A rule of thumb, if you want to lose 1 pound of fat a week, you have a 500 calorie deficit every day for the week. So if you're in that range, if you're losing weight, you can up it. I wouldn't recommend trying to lose anything more than 1,000 or 1,200 calories deficit a day. you really aren't doing your body any justice. But I get annoyed when I hear people say, oh, I gotta cut out carbs. Yeah, I took a couple classes in college on nutrition. I'm not an expert on this, but your body needs carbs. You are fueled. You just gotta eat the right carbs, eat some healthy carbs, eat your vegetables. They don't have a lot of calories in them, but they're packed with carbs, and eat your whole grains and your wheats and all that stuff. They actually, I think they taste better when we switched over to whole grain pasta. I think that tastes better than the white pasta. Little things like that, I don't know. That's just my suggestion, and I hope it helps you. There's all sorts of information on the internet I could get. I'm not an expert in nutrition, but there's like I said, there's all sorts of information out there for you to really get into that, and I hope that helps you maximize your transformation. And it's really, this shouldn't be like a short-lived thing. It should be a lifestyle change. If you get into it and you just keep up with the diet and exercise regularly and just not making everything so regimented. Another good idea is the meal prep, and I do that a little bit. I do a modified version of that. Some people go, I used to do this. I would grill chicken and cut it up into little pieces, like weigh out the pieces and portion size it and put it in Tupperware things for the day. And then my meal's already planned for the week. I'd have my vegetables and stuff. I do a modified version. We have a refrigerator at work, so I keep some of the basics, like my fruits and whatnot there. And I eat almonds as a snack during the day. My wife makes me these peanut butter energy balls. They're so delicious. I keep little stuff like that there, and then what I do is when I make dinner, I make a little bit of extra portion size. I take that, a smaller portion what I ate for dinner to work, and that's my lunch. Modified version of that way, I'm eating something a little bit more fresh and a little bit more varied, rather than eating the same thing every day, but do what works for you. Without further ado, let me explain this week. Like I said before, we're doing active recovery between each exercise. So we're gonna be doing 6-day workouts this week. We're going to be doing each body part twice per week. So we're going to be doing your pulls, your legs, and your pushes. So your pulls are going to be Monday, Thursday. Your legs are Tuesday and Friday, and then your pushes are Wednesday and Saturday. So the first part of the week, we're going to be doing our rep range between 8 to 12. And then the second part of the week, we're going to be doing a rep range between 12 to 15. So at the beginning of the week, we're going to be doing a little bit heavier weights. In the later part of the week, we're going to be doing a little bit lighter weights, but we're going to up the rep range. Kind of just approaching exercising a little bit two different ways. In between each set, we're going to be doing active recovery, different movements. Active recovery is just a way to keep your heart rate up, your metabolism fast. Helps you reduce your lactic muscle buildup. Your muscles produce lactic acid when you're exercising. This actually has been proven, at least the studies I've seen, to reduce that, and it just ups your calorie burn. It's going to burn through the fat. Anyway, so let's get into it. The first exercise we're going to be doing is a dumbbell deadlift. We're going to be doing 4 sets, again, picking a weight that's between 8 to 12 reps per set. So at the first set you're getting 12, and that last 12th rep, you feel like you could have done more, you need to up the weight. If you're doing it and you can barely get 8, you need to lower the weight. Try and get that in there. Again, in between each set, you can adjust the weight. So if you start off dumbbell deadlift and you're doing, you can really load up on these. I'm not going to show you with heavier weights, but if you're doing like 70s, and you can go up to 80s, you can go up to 90s. If then you're starting to get fatigued, you can go back down. Just make sure you're within those rep ranges today. Every day, actually, when we're doing this, every exercise. And so dumbbell deadlifts, 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. And the cardio, I've heard this active recovery, cardio acceleration, they're 2 different words to look at it. Same principle. We're going to be doing high knee. So let me show you how to do dumbbell deadlifts. So I'm just going to grab lighter weight. So it's just like a regular deadlift. This time I kind of start in the top position. Get your feet shoulder width apart. Bend your knees. What you're going to be doing is keeping your back straight, looking forward, dropping the weight down, coming back up to almost standing up, slightly bending forward, going back down. You're almost like gliding the weights along your legs, along your shins. So let me show you from the side. Keep that back nice and straight. Kind of bending your knees and your legs a little bit, like so. Dumbbell deadlifts. And between each set, again, we're doing 4 sets, 8 to 12. We're doing high knees, so get your knees up high. You'll be doing the cardio acceleration, the active recovery, excuse me, for 1 minute in between each set. So as soon as you're done with that last rep, you'll start your stopwatch on your phone, what if you actually have a physical stopwatch on your watch. However you're tracking that 1 minute, once that minute's up, next set. There's zero like pausing rest in these exercises until you're done with the whole workout routine. So again, dumbbell deadlifts, 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps, high knees in between. Next one is high cable row with rotation, and we'll be doing a kettlebell dumbbell swing, which I'll show you both of those. So the high cable row with rotation, if you have a functional trainer at your gym, you can grab both cables, something like this. What you'll be doing is keeping your feet nice and shoulder width apart, bending your knees ever so slightly, keeping your back straight again. What you'll be doing is taking a step back and rotating up, kind of like you're shooting a bow and arrow, like that. And you'll be alternating side. Now when I say 8 to 12 reps, that's 8 to 12 reps per side, not total. If you only have one cable, or if you are doing a tubing, you can work out one side, like so. Step back, rotate, pulling down. So you can do one side, switch your arms, like that. In between each set is the dumbbell kettlebell swing. I don't have kettlebells, I wish I did. One thing I'd like to add here, let's take a light dumbbell. We're gonna be doing single arm, not alternating arms. So in between each set, we're gonna be doing 4 sets. So you'll be doing each arm twice. So what it really is kind of like a hip movement. People do this wrong. They like raise, like doing like a front lateral raise. But this is what you really are doing is you're swinging your hips. So, like that. So you'll be doing this for 1 minute in between each of your sets. The next time you do it, obviously you switch arms. Like that. So 4 sets of those, 8 to 12 reps, high cable row with rotation, followed by in between your active recovers, kettlebell dumbbell swings. Next is an interesting exercise I've recently been introduced to. It is a Y raise. And really, you don't really even need weight to do these. If you do, get some light weights. What you do is you lay at an incline on a bench, and you're gonna rotate you're gonna activate your shoulders by rotating them together, and then you lift your arms like a Y. Like so, and like I said, you don't need a lot of weight. You can do the same thing without weight. And it's really going to work your upper part of your back. And in between each of those sets, what are we doing? Mountain climbers. So get down next to your some mountain climbers. 1 minute of those in between. That we're going to be doing 4 sets, 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps, Y raises, and then your mountain climbers in between. Next is your seated incline curls with your jump squats. 5 sets of these, 8 to 12. So your incline curls. Again, you're just using the same bench that you were doing. Let's take on opposite side. Getting the weights at the side. And you're just curling dumbbells up, like so. The incline just puts more tension on your arms as you're working out. And
In between each of those, again, picking a weight, you do 8 to 12 reps. We are going to be doing jump squats. Here, this thing did something weird. Hope it's still videotaping. Jump squats. So you're just doing, you can also do rocket jumps, are basically the same thing. So like a squat, I don't do the rocket because I hit the ceiling, so. For 1 minute in between each set. Next, we're going to be doing reverse dumbbell curls with speed skaters. Reverse dumbbell curls. So again, take a light pair of dumbbells or whatever you can do. You're just pronating your hands, and you're bringing your dumbbells up like so. Go at an angle. And I like to pause at the top. What you can really do is get that pause, and then you can lower the weight down slowly. 8 to 12 reps. 5 sets of these, 8 to 12, and speed skaters. So and you can do this with as much intensity as you can. Get your heart rate up. The very last thing we're going to be doing is a Starfish Crunch. Like my least favorite ab exercise ever, but I need to do them. 3 sets of failure. No active recovery on this one. Excuse me. Get your feet up, your arms out. As you come up, touch the opposite hand to the opposite toe. I'm really bad at these. I need to do them more. But we should do what we're not good at. That's what I always tell myself and my wife, and telling you the same thing. I need to work on these. Today's daily verse brings us to the Great Commandment. One of my favorite Bible verses. I used to have it as like my phone tag when back in the day when he had it. Matthew 22, 37 through 40. Jesus said unto them, this is in reference to the disciples were asking Jesus, what is the greatest commandment? Jesus said unto them, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Just think of that. What if we all focused on God with all of our heart, soul, and mind all day long? If we did that, we really wouldn't be doing anything sinful against God or other man. It's right there. If we really truly love God and worshiped him and obeyed him, we would not be sinning against him or other people, just in that one thing. But just think of it. If we treated each person out there as if we were treating ourselves, we really wouldn't have had a reason. If we had done this throughout all history, Jesus wouldn't have had to come down here on earth to die for us. But we're not. We're sinful people. We fail at this. But that doesn't deter us from how we should live our lives. We should be treating others. I heard someone say, you know, if you don't have any happiness or joy in your life, you're not putting Jesus and others before yourself. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what we're saying here. Put God first. Treat others as you want to treat yourself, and then put yourself last. If we do these things, you will find happiness in your life. Let's love one another. It doesn't necessarily mean being tolerant of everything. You can call sin out and politely and easily correct people. You know, let's do things respectful. Let's not. We as Christians especially, I don't like it when I have been guilty of this myself, when Christians just sit there and rebuke other people and put other people down and just call it their sin. You know, there's a way to do it, and you know, I've been harsh with other people in the past, but that doesn't give Christians a positive image, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be living it out and doing our best to practice what we preach, but let's love one another. Let's really go the extra mile. How do you want to be treated? Do you want to have people, you know, steal from you or take advantage of you? No. you wouldn't want yourself to be taken advantage of, so let's not take advantage of others. If we are in an opportunity moment, let's just say we find some money, but we can figure out whose it was. Like you actually saw money fall out of the person's pocket or purse in front of you at the line. They're putting their wallet back in. You know, you could literally sit and just pocket that if no one, no one else will be the wiser if no one else saw you or calling you out. Do the right thing. Hand it. Wouldn't you want someone to do it to you, give you your money back? Little things like that. Telling white lies, gossiping behind people's back. You don't want people doing that about you. So let's not do it to others. This brings us to the reading. Today's reading is Genesis 41 to 42 and Mark 16. I hope this is a blessing to you and encouraging, because that's what I really want to be, trying to point people to Jesus and helping people crack open their Bibles and encourage people to get fit. That's the least of my ambitions here. If you're getting in shape and whatnot, I hope it helps you. Just a hobby of mine, really. I really would rather see people opening their Bibles, being kind to one another, worshiping God, and loving and growing closer to Him. So with that, I wish you guys all the best and God bless.